encourage me with some applauses. Thank you. It's not an easy day, so I'm pretty nervous, but in a good way. Madam Chairperson of the Executive Board, Madam Director General, Excellencies, esteemed ministers, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I will never forget that special moment at the last plenary of the 42nd session of the General Conference when, after very intense negotiations, as some of you may recall, we reached the bold decision to take, for the first time in 40 years, the General Conference away from the headquarters in Paris. After 2 years of hard work and thorough preparation with countless details to settle, here we are in Samarkand, on the Silk Road, to make history in the life of our organization. My warm thanks and congratulations go first to President Shavkat Mirziyoyev for his vision and generous offer to host us, and to all those who have worked tirelessly to make this possible, both from Uzbekistan and from the UNESCO Secretariat. Yes, thank you. Well-deserved applauses. As I open the 43rd session of the General Conference, my final act as president, I want to say what an extraordinary privilege it has been to witness across the world the relentless pursuit of knowledge, cooperation, and dialogue that UNESCO continues to advance and inspire. Many milestones have marked our collective journey, leaving numerous achievements, and I am proud of all of them. But I will highlight just two here. First, I was honored to work almost throughout my entire mandate to draw the attention of member states to one of UNESCO's greatest treasures that urgently required safeguarding, its archives. I will be eternally grateful for the partnership with the United Arab Emirates, whose generous contribution will enable the digitization of a century of documentary and audiovisual heritage, making it accessible to all researchers, citizens, and to the future generations. Second, our conference celebrating a century since the creation of the International Institute of Intellectual Cooperation, UNESCO's precursor, as you know. This conference made it clear that strengthening the intellectual foundations of international cooperation through history education, cultural diversity, and the fight against fragmented truth is crucial. My heartfelt gratitude goes to the delegations of France, Japan, the Principality of Monaco, and my own country, Romania, for joining forces with me in this endeavor. I hope that these accomplishments, which remain my main legacy, will motivate you all to continue to build bridges of dialogue and cooperation and uphold UNESCO's values in every corner of the world. Yet beyond these achievements, or the more than 300 events I attended and delivered speeches to, what I will remember most are the human encounters. Those moments when UNESCO's ideals came to life through the people and the communities it serves. I will never forget my encounters with G.E. Mohamed and Triantafylos, laureates of the UNESCO Equatorial Guinea International Prize for Research in Life Science in Addis Abeba. Nor will I forget meeting Lita Gonzalez, representing the Cholitas Escaladoras, who climbed the snow-capped Andes of Bolivia, defying both gravity and inequality. I will remember the joy of our guides, proud of the extraordinary conservation efforts in the Tianmushan Biosphere Reserve in China, the powerful voices of stakeholders advocating for culture and arts education in Abu Dhabi, the vibrant call of experts for the ethical development and of artificial intelligence in Ljubljana and Bangkok, and the enthusiasm, energy, and optimism of young leaders in the Youth Forum in Samarkand. I will recall the Nobel laureates inaugurating the International Year of Quantum Science and Technology in Paris, the courage of journalists, and the solidarity of my fellows, President of the UN General Assembly, ECOSOC, and Human Rights Council, standing united in defense of the press freedom in Santiago de Chile and in Brussels. And I will especially remember the constant trust and support of all member states, as well as the tireless and efficient work of the Secretariat. Each act of dialogue, each gesture of cooperation, giving life every day to UNESCO's mission and ideals. Madame la Présidente du Conseil exécutif, chère Vera, je tiens à vous exprimer ici aussi toute ma gratitude pour notre collaboration si harmonieuse. Vous avez su affirmer avec force, passion, intégrité et rigueur le rôle de supervision du Conseil exécutif en tant qu'organe de gouvernance et lui donner un nouvel élan à travers des consultations ouvertes, un dialogue inclusif et des échanges de haut niveau. Je vous félicite chaleureusement pour votre performance et pour avoir utilisé votre expérience impressionnante pour le bien de cette organisation que vous adorez. Je suis convaincue que votre mandat laissera une marque profonde dans la gouvernance de l'UNESCO. Madame la directrice générale, oui, absolument, merci. Madame la directrice générale, chère Audrey, vous avez consacré 8 années pleines à la direction de cette organisation, la guidant avec lucidité, élégance et sagesse à travers des temps parfois difficiles. Vous avez un jour cité Jean Monnet qui disait « L'important n'est pas d'être optimiste ou pessimiste, c'est d'être déterminé ». Je pense que cette citation vous définit parfaitement. Je vous remercie pour votre coopération, pour votre engagement passionné au service de l'UNESCO, en conjuguant ambition, courage et réalisme. Je vous souhaite que le nouveau chapitre de vie soit plein de nouvelles victoires et de joie. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, being only the 5th woman to preside over the General Conference in 80 years was both an immense pride and a profound responsibility. Throughout my mandate, I have worked to give greater visibility to the importance of women in multilateralism, convinced that lasting peace cannot be achieved without their full participation. And unfortunately, advances in gender equality remain fragile and are eroding in some parts of the world in a rapid way, unfortunately. We must therefore continue to reaffirm and defend them fiercely. Do not forget that, as the saying goes, half of the world are women, the other half are their children. Allow me now to share a few personal reflections on the role of the President of the General Conference. Although the rules of procedure say little about the President's prerogatives between sessions, this position carries important responsibilities. It can serve as a key link to maintain balance between the other governing body and the executive function. It also plays a strong representative and diplomatic role with member states, especially during UNESCO events they host in their countries, occasions to show respect and appreciation. And more importantly, it offers a chance to drive and unite member states around shared objectives. And a good example was my initiative to safeguard and digitize UNESCO's archives. I hope that my 2-year mandate has shown that the presidency represents a genuine opportunity for engagement and for achieving concrete results to strengthen UNESCO visibility, unity, and impact. Besides, I promised you a presidency memorable also due to its human touch. As we all are ultimately, irrespective of lower or higher positions, just human beings. I hope I managed. Heart and reason, passion and compassion went hand in hand, as it always should. To sum up my endeavors during these 2 fascinating years that I experienced as president, I would quote the legendary Romanian diplomat Nicolae Titulescu, who served twice as president of the General Assembly of the League of Nations. He said, "Even if I'm not a lighthouse, but only a candle, it is enough. And even if I am not even a candle, it is still enough, for I have tried to ignite the light." Excellencies, when I took up my duties, UNESCO's membership was vibrant and full of optimism, inspired by the return of the United States to our common family. Today, as we will adopt a new program and budget, we face renewed uncertainty despite the bold measures taken to strengthen our organization's resilience. Yet, this is also a moment of renewal. UNESCO once again stands at a new beginning, with fresh leadership in the governing bodies and at the helm of the Secretariat. So I am confident that with this renewed leadership and the commitment of all member states, UNESCO will continue to rise to the level of its ambitions, confronting with the same vibrant and optimistic spirit the multiple challenges of our times, and continuing to be a laboratory of innovative ideas and creative solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, no presidency is the work of one person. It is a reflection of a collective spirit of tireless colleagues whose devotion to UNESCO's mission deserves our highest respect. I especially wish to warmly thank my closest team members, my advisor, Yulia Nekifor. Stand up, Yulia. The most brilliant strategic mind and wonderful speechwriter that I could ever wish for. Thank you for your fantastic professionalism, for your solid experience, for your heart-warming generosity, discretion, and total dedication. To my executive assistant, Sandra Gallet, thank you for your outstanding professionalism and profound kindness. Your creative mind generated one of the most meaningful events of my presidency. So you both made a truly special team, and you helped this presidency shine forever. You are not only 2 extraordinary human beings, as you know that I'm very sensitive to something like this, but you are true assets of the organization, and I sincerely hope to see you one day entrusted with even greater responsibilities ahead. I'm grateful also to the entire GBS team, especially those who led it. Sachin Bhatt and Luis Salamanques, with whom I started my presidential journey, and to Anna Paolini and Anna Bonetti, who are here with us, who've been supporting me up to the end. Thank you so much. My gratitude goes also to absolutely every member of the Secretariat. Your impressive professionalism and your deep devotion actually are wonderful for promoting and accomplishing UNESCO's values. Last but not least, a word of gratitude and pride to my small but great team from the permanent delegation of Romania to UNESCO, Gabriel, Anastasia, Doina, Florin, who was bearing with me while wearing both the presidential and ambassador hats, and who were crafting all the complex and demanding facets of the representation of our country. Mulțumesc, dragilor. Let me close with the words of Julian Huxley, a scientist and first Director General of UNESCO, who wrote in 1946, at the very birth of this organization, "The world is potentially one and human needs are the same in every part of it, to understand it, to control it, and to enjoy it. Anything that UNESCO can do to satisfy these needs through promoting education, science, and culture will be a step towards a unified way of life and of looking at life, a contribution to the unified philosophy we require. Nearly 8 years later, these words remind us that UNESCO's core mission is above all to bring humanity closer to itself. As the torch now passes to new hands, may the flame of peace and of the founding ideal of bringing humanity ever closer to itself continue to inspire and guide the work of both governing bodies and the Secretariat of this prestigious organization that we all respect and cherish. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.